So we have some update leak lists, and on one of those is the B-66B. And at a quick glance, this is just another light tactical Cold War bomber, but I wanted to talk about if it actually came, it'd be adding a feature we don't already have in War Thunder that not a lot of people seem to talk about. So radar-guided tail gunners. This is a system that is found quite formally, as far as I'm aware, mostly on US aircraft. I'm not 100% certain on other nations that use this design, but I am most notably aware of it on, obviously, the B-66, but things like the B-52 also had a system like this and actually shot down MiGs in Vietnam. Now, how this would work in War Thunder, that's what I wanted to make a video talking about. Obviously, we have a lot of aircraft that have rear gunners. I mean, notably, like things like the IL-28, I think, are the highest BR bombers that have rear gunners. And honestly, I think it is pretty simple for Gaijin to actually implement. Obviously, we have the specs of how far these radar rear gunners can see and how accurate they can actually be. So Gaijin can simply just have it that within, a mile behind this aircraft, it's going to be able to lock onto you and actually engage you pretty successfully. How this would actually be implemented in War Thunder, that's a big question. Obviously, I don't think Gaijin is interested in giving aircraft like the B-66B and the B-52 access to rear gunners that will basically destroy anything if it gets a mile behind your aircraft. But I do think they can implement things that would allow the aircraft to actually be pretty well protected from the rear, especially at closer ranges, and make players have to either take these aircraft in head-ons or actually engage them with air-to-air missile systems. And this also lets Gaijin put things like the B-52, when they get added, at a much higher BR because, they can give it a very effective rear gunner. It's just something to think about. I'm not actually too sure how they're going to implement it. Obviously, we don't even know if they're going to implement them yet because they haven't, because this is just a leak list. I think it's fairly likely. I know we're going to see new bombers at some point. So I think seeing something like the B-66B in this next update, it's not necessarily unlikely. I am excited to see how Gaijin implements radar-guided rear gunners. If they even do it, they could also just allow it to be player-based still, AI-controlled, or a radar-guided functioning for the player, possibly. That's another thing to think about. Have it basically be a rear aspect radar, allow players to control it like any other radar, and then actually have like a radar lead indicator. And that's actually another pretty decent way to do it if they don't want to implement some form of AI control for it. That would make it much more effective. I think that either one of those two ways would be pretty effective in my opinion. I think guys should implement both. I think there's a lot of things that they can do with this. Obviously, test the waters with the B-66B, see how it goes. And then we can talk about things like the B-52 and other aircraft like that. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on the B-66B and radar-guided tail gunners. And do you guys think it's likely we're going to see the B-66B in this update? And if we do, does that mean we're going to see the B-52 sometime soon? I want to know what your thoughts are. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in a later video.